Think about what we do in our company. There are a lot of manufacturers and a lot of growers and farmers that have walnuts. They don't have diamond walnuts. So we think about diamond as how we differentiate, and it's through all of our processes, protocols, how we process, how we crack the walnuts, how we care for them, our food quality and food safety protocols, that we will suggest that we have the best product in the marketplace each and every day. So quality is really at the pinnacle of what we're selling.
If I could describe diamond in one word, it'd be integrity. The employees here all take the time to do things because it's right. Not because they're trying to make it easy on themselves, but because we want to put out the best that we possibly can.
You know, I have great memories of baking with my grandma, and she always used diamond walnuts in her chocolate chip cookies. And so it's kind of those fond memories that, go back for generations. And since diamond's been around since 1912, we take that very seriously, that we have a legacy of, to uphold.
I think what makes diamond unique is a sense of ownership that we instill into every employee. It's not just about pushing efficiency. We take pride in the fact that we will shut down a line, we will stop production if something isn't right, to make sure that what we are putting out is the best that we can.
I'm Erin Clem. I'm the Director of Food Safety and Quality here at Diamond Foods. When I was in school, the 2009 peanut butter recall happened, and it really struck me that something as simple as peanut butter that you feed to your children, people eat it every single day, could cause so many illnesses and deaths.
We have a product that actually is consumed by consumers around the world. And thinking about the responsibility of a food company and what we do is probably the most important part of what we do, which is food safety and quality. So if you take out the marketing campaigns and what we're trying to do to drive revenue, you take all of that out and you actually look at it from the standpoint of consumers and what your product is, the end result of what your product is, which is feeding the world. We don't take that lightly, that responsibility.
And that's what every single individual that works here understands, that, sure, we crack over 120 million pounds of walnuts, but every single little tiny piece of kernel matters.
Because ultimately, we all want to come home. We all want to be safe, and we all want to have a good day.
I think it's the genesis of what we do. We every day have to earn the trust in the confidence of not only our customers, but ultimately our consumers. So when I look at food quality and food safety, that's the foundational element of what we have to focus on and what we should focus on.
I feel that food safety is a part of everyday life. Whether we realize it or not, we practice food safety every day, whether it's cooking at home or going out to eat at a restaurant. A lot of things go into putting that plate of food in front of you, and being able to contribute to that here at Diamond Foods is definitely fulfilling for me.
I think there are companies that don't spend enough time on food safety and quality. It is not to the level that we have it here to our senior most executives and then ultimately socialized through. So I do think there's a uniqueness about Diamond, and I think some of it comes from our culture and our fabric as well. So, we're a 100-plus-year-old company. We have a lot of tenured employees here that really care about the business and the brands.
The food safety culture is kind of just that your team and your facility and everyone understand and want to do the right things. They have integrity and they have quality of workmanship. And so how to create that culture is really to help impart ownership on your employees, right? Someone's gonna eat everything that goes out your door, right? And that could be your own family, that could be your neighbors across the street, that could be, some products go to school districts. And so there's very real world consequences. It really helps drive home what we do matters. And so just trying different ways to get into people's heads and mindsets that there's reasons why we have specs, there's reasons why we need to follow GMPs. Nobody wants to eat hair, right? And so we need to have, hairnets on. And so it's a lot of training, but there's a lot of success and rewards. Personally, when I see someone, we've had people say oh, hey man, your hairnet got tore, you better go change it. And so, you see the little things, and that's when you know that you've actually succeeded in creating a culture. One of the things that I did, like the very first couple weeks I started, is I did have a training with our leadership team about foreign material control, because in the nut industry, shell is probably our biggest complaint as an industry. And so I took shell from cracking, I made brownies, and I put all sorts of shell in it. And we're not talking little shell, there were big old shells. And I cut the brownies up and I gave them to our senior leaders. And I was like, see, this is why our sorters are so important. This is why we have our foreign material controls, and really kind of just bringing it down to the level, right? When you speak high level, people are able to say like, oh yeah, shell's an issue. But when they have half a walnut and a piece of brownie right in front of their face, it kind of drives home the point that, hey, investing in sorting is important. Or, we've done similar things with, like, if you have a wood complaint, putting toothpicks in there. And then it really helps drive home the point that somebody does eat this. You don't want to see this on your plate, and so neither do our consumer.
The passion that Diamond employees bring are something I have not seen in my career. They just have a passion for the business and the company and our brand that makes it the best part of my day every day, is just to engage with the team.
Since we are one operations team, and that's very important to myself as well as other leaders, we're not just looked at a production team, an operations team, and an engineering team. We're all one team. And we take that seriously. We have most of our meetings are all together, and definitely trying to engage in each facet of the business to ensure that we're getting work done.
We make our employees feel empowered and valued and heard.
I love my team and I love the people I work with. So we all support one another, and then you don't have to like the people you work with, but it sure does help.
Working for Erin's great. She is a very supportive person, but she's also very driven. She's not going to let you outwork her, even though you might try. That woman will not stop, and she will continue to work to achieve her goals, but she's also extremely helpful, and she wants other people around her to succeed just as much as she does.
Working with Erin has been one of the best things that has happened to us in Diamond. She got me out of my shell. She has been able to help me without her knowing, and being the leader that I am today.
She encourages me to keep growing, keep developing in my role, and she definitely is not shy about pushing me to do difficult tasks because she knows that I can handle it.
I think a leadership lesson I've learned from Erin is, although it might not be convenient, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. That we need to strive for the best possible result, no matter what it is. Whether it's going to be hard or take more time or not be as efficient, we still need to get it done correctly.
The pandemic was hard on the food industry as a whole. There's been a lot of turnover within our management team, and that's not just at Diamond, that's everywhere, right? And so when you're building a new team and creating, you have a culture, but you have kind of a new team, and you want to make sure that they're a good fit for everything. That was one of our goals back in 2021 was, hey, we want to get to the point where we would be considered for Plant of the Year. And we actually said that should be about a 5-year goal. And so that was in 2021. And the fact that it took 2 years is just a huge, it's kind of just acknowledgement that our leadership team is doing the right thing, that we are investing in the right areas, that we're empowering the right people, that we're bringing in the right people. And so it was one of my goals. But when we got the phone call, I'm not gonna lie, I jumped up and down a little bit. It was just so exciting.
It wasn't something that I was personally striving for. It's really what the culture is here. We're trying to do everything and get all of our production out in the safest, highest quality that we possibly can while being efficient. Everything that we're doing is leading to something, and that we're able to show that what we're doing is effective. Our team and the culture that we hold here is second to none.